Okay, welcome back, I don't even know what part number this is on. Anyway, this is 95 ZJ, engine burn, engine fire, recovery, part, whatever. So, I've gotten this painted up and cleaned up pretty well now on the driver's side. It's hard to shoot all this stuff with engine in there. Of course, I've had to get a little bit of red overshot, but pulled the rest of the harness out. I finally got this plastic part of the lower shroud, and they have this diaper they put across underneath the engine, goes both sides. I got that out of there. It's just a blanket. For some reason they clip up under there. I don't like those damn things. I take them out every one of these ZJs I've had. So anyway, I just got done cleaning out the spark plug holes because the wires melted completely down on this thing. The holes were filled with burnt rubber plastic from the wires and the boots and stuff. I want to, since I still have salvaged wires from the starter, there's the solenoid, I stripped these back. What I'm going to do is grab one of my big semi-truck batteries sitting around. I have extras that are good. And I want to pull the spark plugs out and do a compression test on this, rotate this engine with a battery. So I should be able to just jump the starter. The fire, you can see I had to cut back. I haven't gotten underneath the Jeep yet. To pull the harnessing on the transmission and stuff. All that got cut because it was shot. There's your kickdown cables and stranded stuff that was left that burned to here, and I cut it off the overhead. These caps were fun to get out of the valve cover, let me tell you. So I've cut this. All the other harnesses are out. One thing concerns me is the insulator in here that goes around the evaporator lines has gotten melted into the firewall a bit. And I'm debating whether I should just leave this kind of as a gap. I guess it's not that big of a deal. There's the heater core lines. They're fine. And its insulator is burned into the firewall a little bit too, but it's just melted. It's not damaged on the inside at all. Get that main harness out. Took some going up over top of the steering column. There's some plugs that go down, by your gas pedal, goes over to the climate control, but I found it just buried under the carpet. Didn't seem to be plugged in anything, but the other ones mostly go up to the transmission controller module, which, to pull that out, is the two bolts right here. There'll be nuts, a nut here and a nut here you want to take out. Then you can drop that, pull up over the steering column, that controller down, and unplug it. It's easier to do that. I broke one of the taps trying to reach up under there and unplug it. So yeah, it was a bit of a challenge. But that's that's your controller, and I got all the harnessing out. It's got that big orange plug to it. And there you can see this was the extra wire run to this brake controller they put in this Jeep, and they didn't wire it with a fuse to the battery. This was the plug, unusually, that was just under the carpet up here towards the climate control, just like shoved right up under here. It wasn't plugged in anything, so I don't know what the hell that's for. Maybe that's an optional for the V8 Jeep, and I have those too, but I've never dug that much into the harnessing. Other than that, these other two plugs, these other plugs, they just plug in right up under here, right up in there. So you can get them all out. Take some wrestling. I pulled off some of the undercovers to do it. On the passenger side, first let me finish talking about this. This material that is insulated around evaporator and heater core lines is like a sticky foam you can pick up. And on my 71 GS here, I've been working on putting a vintage air system in this thing, and they give you this tar type stuff. That's the original holes right there I covered with that stuff they gave me with the vintage air system to cover those original holes, because the vintage air system, I had to bring it out up here above the original heater box because the original heater core went in there, but it's all self-contained. If I can pick up some more of just that stuff it's sticky, it's tacky, it's really good for covering that kind of stuff. Now I had my big block Chevy in here, and these are the frame pads I got to change back if I'm going to put the stock Buick 350 back in it. I might try and see if I can get some of that just to cover that. It'd be a proper way to do it. On the passenger side here, and this is the main harness that once you get into this power block right here, this gray one, you can pull the cords out from up in this diagonal far corner. Because I cut the harness because it was burned, I was able to pull it down from the inside and just cut it close to the hole and grommet under the hood. And then it was these 3 upper plugs that are blue, yellow, and black. And they just clip and you pull them out. And that's these puppies here that go to your fuse box and your internal wiring and shit. And here's where I'd cut it. So that's the remainder of the harness on this side. Now, one piece of this right here was this, and it is going under the carpet. And I pulled back the carpet quite a lot, trying to find out where the hell it goes. And it goes under the rubber mat as well as the carpet. It's really a wrestling match. I'm like, so since it's only, oh hell, 6, looks like 6 wires, I decided I'm just going to cut it, and I'll butt connect the new harness to those. The ABS controller in these Jeeps is underneath the console. I've had these out before. So it's not that many wires to butt connect. I'll just cut them and butt connect them together instead of go through the wrestling match of pulling all that out. My airbag, or that's the airbag controller. I can't remember if it's ABS or airbag controller underneath the center console. These are fine. Since the harness basically kind of burned, dropping my lights, of course. I always have to hit it with my head. So it burned around this firewall right to about here was where it was damaged to, right about this corner. So I cut it right here, fed everything through the headlight hole, and was able to pull it all out. So there's absolutely no harnessing underneath, even the front end headlight harness that, you know, will come around up through the fuse box on the driver's side, comes up around here, it's going to come down over here, come across, and then part of it is going to come down. It has clips that push into these holes to hold the harness in place, and then it's going to go up underneath this lip of the front cross member of your bumper support. Then comes back up again, comes along this side, pins into these two, comes on this side. So that's all the headlight harness. Includes, you know, those impact sensors, these little boxes here, which deploy the airbag. So it's getting cleaned up. I had to wipe down the brake master cylinder, get the orange overspray off of it and stuff. But it's looking pretty good so far. And we continue. Unfortunately, I'm December now. Got 17 inches or so of snow outside, and I can't hit junkyard yet or any of that to get things I want to get. I'm still looking. I've got some other Cherokees bookmarked clear over in Seattle and stuff like that. I don't want to go 200-300 miles to go get another Jeep. One will show up in Spokane. I'm in Idaho actually, but Spokane's my nearest city, big city. And there's plenty of stuff that pops up, just like this Jeep popped up. You know, popped up on Facebook. Great looking Jeep, but it had engine fire because of a dumb owner. But I think this is going to clean up well. Eventually I'll pull off the cam, rocker cover, strip it, paint it. While I've got it this far stripped down, I'm going to go ahead and put a new water pump in it. It's only $136,000, and Ellie's 4.0-liter 6-cylinder Jeep didn't need a water pump till about 270,000 miles. So these things go forever. She's got about 278 or something on hers now, and it runs like a top after I did rotor cap, distributor cap, spark plugs, wires, did a full tune-up on it. Finally figured out, you know, it wasn't running good. Eventually, it ended up being my catalytic converter was clogged, so we cut it out, and all of a sudden, finally, the engine could rev. It ran great. Still running it great. And, you know, it was been an impressive thing to me to how well these inline sixes will go, how long. All right, so